actually everything in this show pretty much is in my garden, but this one I actually have.
It better be.
I know. A rock garden like this, similar to this, which my late brother created before he went to heaven, and we still have it, and we make it beautiful every year. And main staple of that area are these hardy ice plants. These are gorgeous. They never die. They go to sleep and stay green in the winter, and then flowers all summer. This is a 6-piece set called Rock Crystal Hardy Ice Plants. And this year what we've done is, instead of giving you this big multicolor set, we've given you a choice of either a hot color combination or a cool color combination, which we'll show you. You get bigger flowers on these. This is a whole new variety from Germany. Gorgeous. So 3 payments of $739. And Devin, I'm going to actually, before we get started on these, tell us a little bit about Roberta's, because your plants are not only so unique and not something that I find locally, but always really easy to grow.
Well, that's part of our name, hard to find but easy to grow. We literally travel around the globe to find the very best plants to add to your garden that look beautiful but are actually very easy to grow. And this ice plant fits that to a T, because we actually found this last summer over in Germany with our friends at Doomen Orange along the Rhine River. They had just created this beautiful new ice plant, and to my knowledge, I think we're the first people in America to actually offer this.
Okay.
And what ice plant is, this is a ground cover. So this is a plant that, you know, many of us, the ground level of our gardens, we often forget about, or we just let mulch be our ground cover, or we let weeds take over.
Exactly.
Yeah, and unless you plant something that brings life, well, you're gonna get weeds or you're gonna have to do the mulch.
Right.
This plant is the opportunity to totally transform the energy of that ground floor with beautiful emerald green foliage 12 months out of the year, and then a sea of gorgeous flowers all summer long.
So if you have purchased Roberta's ice plants in the past, you know how wonderful they are. This is a whole new set which you don't already have. So we've kind of split the table in two. So the camera is right now showing the cool set.
Yes.
Now what colors am I looking at here, Devin?
In the cool collection, you get 2 each of the whites, the purples, and the pinks.
Okay.
So imagine planting this along your walkways, lining your front walkway to your front door, or in your rock gardens. That is where they excel, and that's actually why they call them the rock crystals.
I love how big these blooms are. They're
blooms
like 4 times as big as normal.
They're huge, but they are so vibrant. When the sun hits them, they kind of crystallize, and they gleam, and they just smile in your garden for all summer long.
Now over here we have what we're calling the hot collection.
The hot collection, and I love the hot collection because this is like a party for your garden. You have 2 of the beautiful ruby reds, 2 of the gorgeous oranges, and 2 of the yellows.
Excellent.
And my favorite way of using these is kind of like, I love to plant it wherever you have the mulch. If you're considering, you know, your mulch orders for the year, consider planting this in that pre-existing mulch, and then you'll start to eliminate the need for that mulch.
Everybody always wants to know how fast will these grow, and these do spread out really fast. So you're getting them in a set of 6 that looks like this.
Yes, and the cool thing is they're all individually planted just like this. And so to get an idea of how fast these grow, this one plant will grow into something that looks like this. One plant turns into this by the end of the 1st or 2nd season. So if you want to really start to cover up all of that mulch, start to eliminate all of that mulch once and for all, get 3 or 4 collections.
So 400 just ordered, and many already picked up since you debuted these a few days ago, 11,000 prior to this presentation. A lot of you pick up more than one. This is one that I usually buy in multiples, maybe 3 or 4 sets of 6, and I plant them around like the ring of a big maple tree.
Totally.
So, like you can encircle your mulch bed with them too.
Look at that. That's okay, so that was a bed of mulch. Now in this garden, we started to incorporate the ice plant, eliminating the need for mulch, but look, they kind of stopped halfway. Why not fill it out with another 10 plants, and then you would just have that beautiful sea of colorful flowers all summer long, and then that emerald green foliage 12 months out of the year.
So spilling down your rock garden, or if you've got a terraced garden, something where the soil's not that great or things are hard to grow, maybe you just want to, again, this is not a tall plant. This is a ground cover plant that has big pops of flowers all over it, and then when the flowers are not blooming in the winter, it's still green. It doesn't ever die or turn brown.
It's evergreen 12 months out of the year. Now, ice plant is a succulent plant that holds moisture within the foliage. So what that means for you guys at home is that once these are planted in the ground, they are very drought tolerant. That means you don't have to go drag the hose out and water them every day. You can
low
allow
maintenance.
very low maintenance, and they love the hot, full sun.
So actually, the guys are coming in because I asked them on purpose to do this because I know that often you're watching one thing and then you've got to go off and go to church or
Right.
you know, have your breakfast or whatever. We have a show that is mixable and matchable. So
Totally.
right here we have these gorgeous Gerber daisies that are coming up that look how beautifully they coordinate
Perfectly.
with the ice plants, right?
You know, the ice plant is it's that very first layer in the garden, and then the Gerber daisies are that second layer. So you have that seamless transition in your garden, full of color, full of beauty, full of life. You know, all summer long you're going to have the ice plant flowers. You know, you're going to have the Gerber daisy flowers for like 6-8 months.
Yeah.
And it is truly the best way of getting just
and
maximum
all of these
color.
are perennial. So even the Gerber daisies are going to come back every year.
Thanks,
so
Carol.
you don't have to keep buying more plants.
Yeah.
And these spread out. They'll fill in all those gaps. And he's right about the weeds. Let me tell you, if you've got a problem with weeds encroaching, I have my yard, I hate weeds.
Yeah, me too.
And I have weeds taken care of and I'm always pulling them, but my neighbors not so much. So where I have my rock garden is up against my neighbor's fence where there's like this huge jungle of weeds.
Yeah.
Right on the other side of my
How
fence.
annoying.
And they creep through if I don't block them out with something like this.
Yeah.
Because see, when you have these plants, the weeds have a difficult time growing and seeding. So you don't see weeds. You only see
Right.
these, they're like weed blockers.
They are. You know, the way that weeds work is they need to have ground space and they need to have sunlight. So if you take the ground space and you take the sunlight away from them, you won't get weeds. That's what we love about the ice plant is they will take they're not invasive by any means. You know, this is about the maximum size that one of your plants will grow. But if you plant a bunch of them in your garden bed, you won't have to worry about the weeds. You won't have to worry about getting the mulch every single year. You won't worry about having to water all of your plants either because these are so drought tolerant.
And sometimes if you have a terraced garden or something that's at an incline or it goes down, you know, the mulch, even if you get new mulch every year, gets washed away in spots.
Oh,
When
totally.
you have these in there, you don't even notice that.
Yeah, absolutely. This also, it helps to slow erosion very well.
So 3 payments of $739. This is a new variety from Germany with bigger flowers. You're getting 6 of either the hot or the cool collection. And we totally recommend this great new, debuted last year, fertilizer. It's the all-purpose plant food called Roberta's Bounty.
Roberta's Bounty, you know, it makes about 60 gallons worth of food for all of your plants and full of micronutrients, macronutrients. It will help you get more flowers, thicker, denser growth, and you can use it on everything in your yard.
Super easy, and you just mix it with a gallon of water. 3 payments of $704, and we've sold over 60,000 sets of that fertilizer since it debuted. All right, you have a great warranty.
We do, yes. We want to make sure you're happy because when you're happy,